Humans, the epitome of innovation. Humans are constantly able to iterate on the things they make through constant trial and error. Humans are able to overcome any roadblock that they might hit, no matter how hard it might seem. Now, that sense is known as motivation. Motivation can be defined as the reason or reasons someone has for attaining a certain goal or doing a certain action. Every one of us has either suffered from a lack of motivation or has thrived from a surplus of motivation. Now, our motivation affects our actions. Our actions affect our future, and our future is who we are. Motivation might seem like a feeling. It is. But there's a lot more to it than just a feeling. There's a science behind it. Now, I want to start off with the basics. Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Now, intrinsic motivation might seem more like, as you guys would know it, self-motivation. So let's say learning to play the piano, for example. Let's say you're in love with music and you just love someone like Kendrick Lamar or Drake. You're going to learn to play some of their songs on the piano because you enjoy it. You're motivated to do that task. On the other hand, you have extrinsic motivation, which is motivation guided by some type of reward or preventing a type of consequence. An example of this would be your dad washing the dishes because your mom got mad at him. And yes, I've seen it happen. That's where I say, no, thank you. So, now, both of these have one thing in common, dopamine. Dopamine is known as the happy hormone, and it controls our brain's reward system. Now, in our brain, we have about 4 total receptors that intake dopamine and have a unique factor: the amygdala, the nucleus accumbens, the prefrontal cortex, and the hippocampus. Now, the amygdala interprets emotion, the nucleus accumbens turns that emotion into some type of motor response, the prefrontal cortex makes it into a memory, and the hippocampus stores that memory. Now, how many of you had that go right over your head? That went right over mine too, right? Because big science words, who knows big science words? But what's more important are the factors that affect that science. Now, I like to call these things the formula. Now, the formula consists of your physiological state, the environment, and the past. And each one of these things works so cohesively with one another that affects how you motivate yourself, who motivates you, and all these other factors. So let's take one step into it. Your physiological state. Your physiological state controls things such as deprivation, time of day, stress, or your genuine health. Now, let's look more at the time of day factor. Let's say you wake up early in the morning, you're drowsy, you don't want to do anything. I don't like doing anything when I wake up. I don't like going to school when I wake up. I'm just lazy. I feel so unmotivated. If we're looking at the afternoon, maybe I'm at school, maybe I'm at work, and I just want to do the task. I want to keep it going. I'm feeling productive because I'm in a nice environment. Second factor is environment. And then if you look at the third thing, is the nighttime. Now, the nighttime, you're tired, but you might have something like homework, so you got to do that, get that over with, and then you can go to sleep. We all love sleep. I love sleep. So the next thing is our environment. Now, our environment has all the goals and stimuluses that we have the ability to achieve. So if you look at something like writing an essay, if you're writing an essay, you have 2 possible outcomes. You can either start the night before, where you're in your home. If you're in your home, you're bound not to want to do that essay because you're feeling lazy and you love just being in your home and relaxing rather than having to do work. And if you're having to cram in the essay last minute, which yes, I've done, it causes stress. Now, stress, physiological state. Now, stress, honestly, all it does is it causes you to focus on that rather than the essay. Now, condition number 2 is if you do the essay piece by piece by piece by piece at school in the productive environment that you are in. When it comes to that last day, you're done. All it is revising, checking, being done with it. Then all you can do is go to sleep. Chill and go to sleep. Who doesn't love sleep? I love sleep. Now, finally, our past. Our past consists of all of our previous goals that we've reached, all the previous stimuli that we've attained. And the people who affect your past are going to be your parents. My parents are very self-driven and motivate me to do everything that I want to do, motivate me to be up here. And my parents are a blessing. They've motivated me to do every single thing, and they're what gets me going. They are the goals that I want to make them proud. They create my goals. Now, you're probably wondering, why me, a high schooler? He doesn't work, do any of that cool stuff. He doesn't know what motivation really is. Well, us high schoolers are busy. We got clubs, work, we volunteer, we got college apps, we got, what else do we got? We got homework, we got sports. We got so many things on our plate. We stay busy, but one of the worst things is we all experience burnout, we experience stress, but worst of all, we all experience procrastination. Over my 3 years in high school, procrastination has become, unfortunately, one of my best friends. Procrastination is defined as you delaying a certain task in order not to do it because you don't want to. You love the feeling of not having to do anything. You love the feeling of just relaxing. And that feeling is caused when, big words coming, the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus store a negative emotion as something positive. Because you doing work is not doing work is bad for you. But the idea of you having to do it is kind of what they store. And that's what kind of, in the sense, is what you do. Now, September 23rd, 2023. 2 tests, 2 homework assignments, and 2 essays that I decided to cram in the night before. And if you're wondering, yes, I failed every single one of them. So I didn't sleep that night. My sleep schedule was thrown off for months, and it still currently is. I was stressed. I always wondered, why? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do what I can do? Why can't I be the best? Why am I so far behind all of the others? It was that Saturday I realized, what am I doing? Why am I in this rigorous program? Why am I doing all the things that I do? Sitting in my room, nothing going on. Then I hear a buzz. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I'm getting a phone call. I'm like, who's calling me on this depressing Saturday? If you guys flip to page 13 of your books, if you guys would do that, please, you'll see one name, Tirth Srinivasan. That is the name of the person who called me that day. He asked me how I was doing, what's been happening, even though we have all of our classes together. He just asked me, and I told him, genuinely, it's been a rough week, man. All this happened, and I don't know what to do anymore. And all he did was remind me of one thing. The one thing that had been with me all throughout middle school, all throughout high school. To push past your limits and exceed your expectations. When he told me this, I was like, dang, bro, you're right. How am I going against my own values right now? So what I did was I picked myself back up. I studied harder. I didn't wait till the last minute. I started earlier. I turned that procrastination into my own sense of intrinsic motivation. I made myself succeed. Now, most people think you're born with motivation. That's not how that works. Motivation is something you achieve, something you work for. Some might say motivation paves the road to success. That's not what I believe. Motivation might pave your road to success, but your family and your friends are the people who build that road. My name is Aman Paregi. Thank you very much.